Hi guys, quick video. Hope everyone's well. It's been a quiet few days on my channel. Apologies, I've been pretty busy with work and in my personal life and that sort of thing. But I was keen to touch on a subject: Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Guinn, which is quite a big new fight that's recently been announced and will be the co-main event on the Anthony Joshua versus Gary Cornish card. Now, I discussed this fight with the guys on the Bayloric and 4C Media Sports discussion that we had, which is currently on Bayloric TV worldwide, I think. So check that out if that's of interest. But I wanted to touch on it in a bit more detail on my channel because I've had a bit longer to reflect on this. So put simply, this is a sort of stepping stone fight for Dillian Whyte, a fight that I guess he's expected to win ahead of a big matchup with Anthony Joshua, potentially a matchup where there may be a lot of money at stake for the winner. Now, I guess a lot of people have been saying, myself included, that Dillian Whyte really needs a step-up fight before Anthony Joshua. I mean, Dillian Whyte's never gone beyond 4 rounds. That's something that we shouldn't forget. He's riding an 11-round knockout streak. And, whilst Joshua's been knocking everyone out as well, it would still be beneficial for Dillian Whyte if he was, had some more experience, both of going rounds and had some more experience against a higher level of opposition ahead of stepping in the ring with Anthony Joshua. To me, Dominic Guinn is a step forward compared to some of the opponents that, Dillian Whyte's been in with. In fact, I think it's probably fair to say that Guinn is certainly the most accomplished of the opponents that Dillian Whyte has fought, and certainly a step in the right direction compared to the Nascimentos of the world and those kind of characters. I think Gwynn's got 10 losses on his record, but importantly, none of them have come by stoppage. And he's fought some really big names, Adamek, Pulev, Amir Mansour, Tony Thompson, and he's gone the distance with these guys. He's fought James Toney, he fought and beat Audley Harrison, so in terms of the, his CV and the guys he's been in with, it's a kind of who's who of boxing, He's got some decent attributes. He's got an excellent chin, very durable as the record suggests, some decent skills, a decent hook. I think the main problem with Guinn, first and foremost, is that he's just kind of a low output fighter. You kind of see him operating with a sparring partner mentality. Although he, was much hyped as a prospect and a contender back in the day, these days he kind of turns up to survive rather than to win. Not actually a dissimilar character to to Kevin Johnson, who Anthony Joshua fought. Kevin Johnson's another guy, a slick guy, skillful guy, the kind of guy who you believe could potentially have gone further in the sport had he truly applied himself. But he's been happy to kind of take the opponent bads, take a few paydays and carry on his career that way. And I think this fight, Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Guinn, is not wildly dissimilar to Anthony Joshua versus Kevin Johnson. Guinn, I think, will probably put up a slightly better performance than Kevin Johnson did. I hope the fight lasts a bit longer than that. But the key question here is, will Dillian Whyte get the stoppage? And if Guinn is able to take Dillian Whyte a few rounds, how will Dillian Whyte look? We're so used to seeing him. I think his last opponent, Beto Costa Jr., is either the first round or the second round. Might have been the second round that he took him out, but it was very, very early. So it'll be useful to see how Dillian Whyte applies himself as the fight goes slightly later. And it will also be useful to see how Dillian Whyte adjusts against an opponent who, in my opinion, has a higher apologies for the sneeze, has a higher level of skill than the likes of Beto Costa Jr., the likes of Nascimento. So for me, this is a good thing. It's a good step-up fight ahead of, the test with Anthony Joshua, and it makes it a more level playing field. The fact that Dillian Whyte's had a bit of money spent on him, had a opponent with a decent name and a decent resume brought in. For me, it makes it a more level playing field, which is interesting. One thing's for sure, I bet when Eddie Hearn's sitting ringside, at that event, he's going to be very, very nervous. Because if Gary Cornish or if Guinn have any success whatsoever, could possibly put a spanner in the works ahead of Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this fight. I'm keen to hear, will Dillian Whyte get the stoppage or will he win on points? I'm inclined to think that there could be what is known on the forums as a British stoppage here. Fundamentally, I think that Guinn is going to be so low output. He's taken the fight on short notice. He hasn't been active. I think he's done one round since 2013. And I'm inclined to think that Dillian Whyte, being young, being hungry, having all the momentum, is going to have such a higher punch output that Guinn may end up getting stopped on his feet just because he'll be taking a lot of punches and not offering much back. But I'm not 100% sure that Dillian Whyte's going to lay him out and knock him down repeatedly and stop him in that sense. So for me, it's a good step up. I think it's a good fight ahead of the Anthony Joshua match, and I'm looking forward to it. And it's actually not going to be a bad night of heavyweight boxing with this fight, as well as the unbeatens Gary Cornish versus Anthony Joshua. Perhaps a slight prediction would be that, and I know I'm not the only person who said this, but that this fight could actually be better than Anthony Joshua Cornish, because it wouldn't surprise me if that one really did last 30 seconds. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like the video, give me a thumbs up. All the best.